Most people with kidney concerns think eating well means spending more. A special grocery run, fancy supplements, foods they have never heard of and cannot find at their regular store. But what if some of the best foods for your kidneys are already sitting in your kitchen right now? Not imported, not expensive, not from a health food store with a parking lot you can barely navigate. Today I want to walk you through 6 affordable, easy-to-find foods that many seniors with kidney concerns can actually eat more of. Not just tolerate, eat more of. And I think a few of these might genuinely surprise you. One of them in particular, I want you to stay with me for that one, because it is probably the last thing most people expect to hear on a kidney health channel. I'm Grace Wells, kidney and diabetes health educator for older adults. And I make these videos because kidney health information should not be complicated, expensive, or scary. It should be clear, practical, and actually useful in your daily life. So let's get into this, because your next grocery trip might look a little different by the time we're done. Before we go further, I want to say something important right at the start. Kidney nutrition is not one size fits all. What works well for one person may not work the same way for another. And that depends on your kidney stage, your lab results, whether you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart issues, and what medications you're taking. Potassium, phosphorus, sodium, protein, and fluid intake all need to be considered based on your specific situation. So as I go through each of these foods, I'll be clear about who they tend to work well for and who needs to be more careful. Please bring this information to your next doctor or dietitian visit. That conversation matters more than any video. Now, let's talk about food. The first one is egg whites, and I know what some of you are thinking. Grace, I've been told to watch my protein. Why are you starting with eggs? Here's the thing. Egg whites are one of the most kidney-friendly protein sources available, and they cost almost nothing. When kidneys are under stress, they have a harder time filtering the waste products that come from protein breakdown. Not all proteins create the same amount of waste. Egg whites are what's called a high-quality, low-phosphorus protein. That means your body uses them efficiently, and they produce less metabolic waste compared to many other protein sources. A whole egg has phosphorus in the yolk. The white does not. For many seniors watching their phosphorus levels, this is a meaningful difference. Now, can you just toss the yolks forever? Not necessarily. Some people do fine with whole eggs depending on their labs. But for those who have been told to watch phosphorus, and many seniors with chronic kidney disease have, egg whites are a genuinely practical option. You can scramble them, make a small omelet with vegetables, add them to soup. Mix them into oatmeal if you want extra protein without changing the flavor much. A carton of liquid egg whites at most grocery stores is affordable and lasts a week in the fridge. One thing to keep in mind, portion size still matters with protein, even good protein. Your doctor or dietitian can help you figure out the right amount based on your kidney function. But as affordable, accessible protein sources go, egg whites are hard to beat for many seniors with kidney concerns. The second food might already be in your refrigerator right now, and you might not have thought twice about it. Cabbage, green cabbage, the ordinary, inexpensive, available at every store kind. Cabbage is low in potassium, low in phosphorus, and low in sodium. For kidney health, that combination is genuinely valuable. Many vegetables that are otherwise excellent for general health, like spinach, tomatoes, and potatoes, are high in potassium. That can be a problem for people whose kidneys are struggling to regulate potassium levels. Cabbage does not have that problem. It gives you fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and a satisfying texture, without loading your kidneys with minerals they may struggle to process. You can eat it raw in a simple coleslaw. Sauté it in a small amount of olive oil with garlic. Add it to soups. Stuff it and bake it. Shred it and use it as a base instead of higher potassium greens. A head of green cabbage is one of the least expensive vegetables you can buy, and it lasts well in the refrigerator. One caution here: if you are on blood thinners like warfarin, talk to your doctor before significantly increasing your cabbage intake. It contains vitamin K, which can interact with certain medications. But for most seniors with kidney concerns who have been told to watch potassium, cabbage is a quiet champion that rarely gets enough credit. Now here is where it gets interesting, because the next one on the list is something that has a bit of a reputation problem in health circles. People hear kidney-friendly and they think superfoods, dark leafy greens, antioxidant-rich berries. They do not usually think cauliflower, but they should. Cauliflower is low in potassium, low in phosphorus, high in fiber, and remarkably versatile. It belongs to the same family as cabbage, and it carries many of the same kidney-friendly benefits. What makes cauliflower especially useful is how well it substitutes for foods that are harder on the kidneys. High potassium mashed potatoes? Cauliflower mash with a small amount of unsalted butter is a satisfying, kidney-friendlier alternative for many people. Rice too heavy in certain combinations? Riced cauliflower can stretch a meal without adding the same mineral load. It also works as a side dish roasted in the oven, added to soups, or eaten raw with a simple dip. Frozen cauliflower is often even more affordable than fresh and loses very little nutritional value in the freezing process. That matters when you're trying to eat well on a fixed income. And if you've ever been frustrated that kidney-friendly eating seems to take away more than it gives, cauliflower is one of those foods that actually gives something back. Flexibility, options, meals that don't feel like punishment. Your kidneys are already working hard enough. Your dinner table shouldn't have to be a source of stress. If this information is already making you think about your next grocery list, I want to gently say, that reaction is exactly why I make these videos. The goal was never to overwhelm you. It was to give you something real to take home. We're halfway through the list, and the one coming up after the next food, the snack one, is the one that surprises people most. Stay with me. The fourth food is apples. Simple, ordinary apples. In kidney nutrition, fruit can be tricky. Bananas are high in potassium. Oranges are high in potassium. Dried fruits can be concentrated sources of potassium and phosphorus. So for many seniors with kidney concerns, the fruit aisle feels like a minefield. Apples are different. They are relatively low in potassium and phosphorus. They contain a type of soluble fiber called pectin that may support digestive health and help the body manage cholesterol, which matters for seniors with kidney disease because kidney and cardiovascular health are deeply connected. Apples also have a natural sweetness that satisfies a craving without added sugar, which is particularly relevant for seniors managing diabetes alongside kidney concerns. The fiber in apples slows the absorption of sugar, which can help with blood glucose levels, though this depends on how many you eat and how your body responds. A fresh apple. Apple slices with a small amount of unsalted almond butter if your labs allow it. Baked apple with cinnamon, no added sugar. These are simple, inexpensive pleasures that many seniors with kidney concerns can enjoy without worrying. One note: apple juice and applesauce with added sugar are not the same as a whole apple. The fiber is reduced. The sugar content is different. The whole fruit is what we're talking about here. Apples are sold at every grocery store, often discounted in larger bags. They keep well. They travel easily. They require no preparation. For something so ordinary, they deserve a little more appreciation in the kidney health conversation. Now, number 5, white rice. I know, this one raises eyebrows. White rice has a reputation as an empty food. Nutritionists have spent years steering people toward brown rice, whole grains, more fiber. And for many health goals, that advice is sound. But kidney health is a different conversation. Brown rice is higher in phosphorus than white rice. For seniors with kidney disease who need to watch phosphorus, and many do, especially in later stages, white rice is actually a better choice in this specific context. White rice is low in potassium, low in phosphorus, easy to digest, and filling. It pairs well with kidney-friendly proteins and vegetables. It is inexpensive, familiar, and available everywhere. This does not mean eating white rice in unlimited amounts is ideal. Portion size matters, especially for seniors managing blood sugar. And if your doctor has not specifically told you to limit phosphorus, the difference between white and brown rice may be less relevant for you. But here is the point I want to make clearly. Eating for kidney health is not always the same as eating for general wellness. Sometimes what sounds healthier by popular standards is actually harder on the kidneys. White rice is a good example of that. If you have been avoiding white rice because you assumed it was worse for you, this might be worth a conversation with your care team, specifically in the context of your kidney labs. It is one of those things where the right answer depends on your numbers, not a general guideline. Your numbers. And now we get to the one that genuinely surprises people. The one I mentioned at the very beginning. Unsalted popcorn. Yes. Popcorn. Plain, air-popped, or lightly prepared popcorn with no added salt, no butter, and no flavoring additives is one of the most surprisingly kidney-friendly snack options available. Here is why this matters. Snacking is where kidney health often quietly falls apart. Chips are high in sodium and often contain phosphate additives that are absorbed quickly by the body. Crackers often have significant sodium. Packaged snack foods tend to be loaded with preservatives, additives, and hidden phosphorus that can add up fast. Seniors need to snack. Snacking between meals helps maintain energy, prevents overeating at main meals, and can support blood sugar stability. But the snack aisle is full of options that quietly work against kidney health. Plain, unsalted popcorn is different. It is low in potassium, low in phosphorus, low in sodium when prepared without salt, and it gives you fiber and some satisfying volume. A small bowl of it in the afternoon is something many seniors with kidney concerns can genuinely enjoy without the worry. The key words here are unsalted and plain. Microwave popcorn packets often contain significant sodium, flavoring additives, and sometimes phosphorus-based preservatives. Read the label, or better yet, pop it yourself. Air poppers are inexpensive and the kernels are very affordable. This is not a food to eat in large quantities. But as a snack that feels like a treat without the kidney strain of most packaged options, unsalted popcorn is genuinely underrated. If you've been missing something crunchy and satisfying in your diet, this might be the simplest swap you make this week. I want to take a moment here before we wrap up because I think it's worth stepping back and looking at all 6 of these together. Egg whites, cabbage, cauliflower, apples, white rice, unsalted popcorn. None of these are exotic. None of them require a special store or a large grocery budget. Most of them are probably available within a few minutes of where you live. Several of them are likely already in your home. And yet for many seniors, especially those who have been told they need to think about their kidneys, food can start to feel like a source of anxiety rather than nourishment. Every label becomes a worry. Every meal becomes a question mark. One of the things I hear most often from older adults with kidney concerns is this: I don't know what I'm allowed to eat anymore. That feeling is real, and it's exhausting. What I hope this video does is give you a small but solid foundation. 6 foods that tend to work well for many seniors with kidney concerns. Foods that are affordable, accessible, and practical. Foods you can bring to your kitchen without guilt or confusion. That is not a cure. It is not a treatment plan. It is not a substitute for your doctor's guidance. But it is a starting point. And sometimes a starting point is exactly what's needed to feel a little less lost. Now, I want to come back to something I mentioned early on because it is the most important thing I could tell you about kidney nutrition. Your lab results matter more than any list. Potassium, phosphorus, sodium, protein. These are the key dietary factors in kidney health. And how much of each you need to limit depends on your specific stage of kidney disease, your current blood levels, your other conditions, and your medications. Some seniors in early stages of kidney disease can eat many foods freely and just focus on general healthy habits. Others in more advanced stages need to be more careful about potassium and phosphorus specifically. There is no video, not mine, not anyone else's, that can replace a conversation with a renal dietitian or your nephrologist about your specific labs. What I can do is give you information that helps you ask better questions at that appointment. And if something in today's video made you think, I should ask my doctor about this, then this video did exactly what it was meant to do. Let me leave you with something practical before we close. If you want to take one small step today, here it is. Look at your snack situation first. That is often the easiest place to make a gentle change. If you're regularly reaching for chips, crackers, or packaged snacks, consider keeping a small bag of plain, unsalted popcorn kernels in your pantry. It costs very little. It takes very little to prepare. And it is one of the more straightforward swaps you can make. Second, the next time you're at the grocery store, pick up a head of green cabbage. It is inexpensive, it lasts well in the refrigerator, and it is easy to work into meals throughout the week. Sauté it, add it to soup, eat it raw with a little vinegar dressing. It's versatile, kidney-friendly for most people, and genuinely underused. These are not dramatic changes. They are not a kidney diet overhaul. They are two small, practical, affordable steps that many seniors can take without needing a prescription or a health food store. And small steps, taken consistently, are how real change actually happens. A brief note before I close. Everything I've shared today is for educational purposes. It is not medical advice, and it is not a substitute for the guidance of your own doctor, nephrologist, or registered dietitian. Kidney nutrition is individual. Please use this video as a starting point for conversation, not as a replacement for one. Now I have a question for you, and I genuinely want to hear your answer. Of these 6 foods, egg whites, cabbage, cauliflower, apples, white rice, or unsalted popcorn, which one would you like me to make a full video about, a deeper dive, recipes, how to prepare it, what to watch for, how it fits into a kidney-friendly week of eating? Leave your answer in the comments below. Your response actually shapes what I make next. And if you've already been eating one of these regularly, I'd love to hear that too. Your experience might be exactly what another senior needs to read today. If this video gave you even one thing you can bring to your next doctor's visit, one question to ask, one food to mention, one label to look at differently, then it did its job. And if this is the kind of straightforward, affordable, real-world kidney health information you wish someone had explained sooner, you may want to stay with this channel. I make these videos regularly, and I make them for you. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.